Yes, just 2 days away now from York's Ebor Festival, and I'm delighted to say that on the line, joining us now, is Amy Ryan, friend and colleague. Amy, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Tom. How are you?
Yeah, very well. Looking forward to all the action over the next few days. Always one of my favourite meetings of the year. I do wonder at this time of the campaign, do you allow yourself to look back and reminisce at some of the big days you had in the saddle? Of course, one of them coming aboard Blaine. I think it was 11 years ago now.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but it was a fantastic day. And, York's a fantastic track. It's a great meeting. And, for us Northerners, it's a bit like, our big royal meeting of the year.
Yeah, absolutely right. And as ever, the assembled fields look pretty up to scratch. We're going to start by looking at Wednesday and talk about your dad's runners in the main, because Kevin's got a fair few entries this week. And of course, the first afternoon to talk about is Wednesday, and the first race is the 150, the Hong Kong Jockey Club Whirlpool Handicap, in which at the moment you're triply represented, the Ryan team, Amy. Are all three, Bergerac, Monnesliva and Van the Man, likely to turn up?
Yeah, I mean, Bergerac, he's an absolute yard legend. He really does go out, wear his heart on his sleeve. He's very genuine. He's a regular at York. He does love it there. He won at this meeting. It was back in 2022 now, but he's off a mark of 93, so he's off the same mark this year. And he's been in great form this season. He obviously won at Hamilton, and he's just one of those very, very likeable older handicappers that you really do need in the yard because they're hard to replace and they're hard to find. So it's a track that he runs well at. He loves quick ground, and I think 5.5 really is his trip. So, he's going to go there with every chance, hopefully.
Yeah, won that back in 2022, as you say, was 22 to 1 that day as a 4-year-old, and he's now 16 to 1, and I think handicap to win again, so could be a tasty enough price. Monnesliva likes to burn off from the front, doesn't he? And I imagine similar tactics will be employed again.
Yeah, he's very, very quick. He's got so much speed, bags of speed. He ran really well there actually a few starts ago. Obviously won really well at Ayr as well. And, he's one of those horses that speed is his main attribute, and we try and put that to good use. And he seems to like to dominate. It's not going to be easy, is it, to dominate a big field as he did at Ayr, but he goes there, they're all going there with chances. It's obviously very, very competitive, but he's got plenty of speed. Whether the extra half a furlong will quite stretch him, he is an out-and-out 5 furlong horse, really, with the amount of speed that he does show. But, it's great for the owners to go there, and they're big supporters and have been from day one.
Yeah, and Kevin decided to put first-time blinkers on him back in May at York, actually, when finishing behind American Affair. He does seem to have been perked up and improved a little bit by those aids. Yeah,
absolutely. And, sometimes when horses go out and make the run in, it can help them just having that bit of concentration just to direct them in the one direction, because there'll be horses coming at them left, right and centre. So they seem to have, perked him up. And like I said, he's so quick. Speed really is his attribute.
And what about Van the Man, who finished down the field, didn't he, at Hamilton last time out? That was in the Scottish Stewards' Cup. But I think you can probably put a line through that, given how poor he ran. And I know that no explanation was found afterwards, but on his best form this season, he'd be there or thereabouts. And I noticed, too, he's quite well handicapped.
Yeah, he's a talented horse. He's progressing. He's quite a big horse. And he actually ran really well there last year over the minimum trip. So, he, again, great owners, really supportive people that just love their racing and love their horses. And, the day he won at Pontefract, that meant the absolute world. And he's again going there. These handicaps, you can probably run them 10 times and get, 10 different results. But, they're all going there with chances. I think Bergerac's just your real solid type. And the fact that they pay, quite a few places in those big handicaps, I always say he's pretty reliable to hit the frame.
Well, I was going to say, of the three, who you keenest on? Sounds like Bergerac.
Yeah, probably Bergerac. He runs the track well. I think 5.5's really his trip. He loves quick ground, and he's having a great season. He's off the same mark that he obviously won it off back in 2022.
OK, good stuff, Amy. That's the first race at York this week, featuring 3 of Kevin's contenders. Let's move on to the 520 on the opening day. That's the York Sky Bet Nursery. You got 2 in there, Mo of Cairo and Dacres Cross, who won earlier this week.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 nice horses. Mo of Cairo, he was actually a breeze-up purchase. He's a talented horse. He's always shown plenty. He was off the mark at Beverley at the 3rd time of asking. That was over the 5 furlongs on quick ground. And he's had a little bit of a break, actually, since then. So he's a nice horse with plenty of scope about him. So I think the break will have just done him good. Nice to get his head in front. It's always nice to give them a little bit of confidence. And, he's obviously going there off the back of a bit of a break. A Dacres Cross again, a horse that was off the mark at the 5th attempt. That was at Carlisle, having been gelded. So, you know, they're both horses that are heading in the right direction. So they're both going there with chances.
Yeah, funnily enough, actually, on Dacres Cross, because I was at Carlisle earlier this week to see him win, I thought that he's really starting to learn on the job at York. I still thought he was sort of learning the whole racecourse experience on his nursery debut, and then it really seemed to click at Carlisle. So now that he's got that winning form, maybe he can go on from here.
Yeah, he actually ran really well at York, didn't he? So nice to have that bit of course form. And I think being gelded did him good. He's always been a little bit of a cheeky chappy. So I think that did him good. And nice to see him again get his head in front last time. I think he gives them plenty of confidence. And, you know, they're both horses that are progressing, going the right way. Obviously, Mo of Cairo hasn't had as much racing, but they're both going in the right direction. And you can see Dacres Cross obviously getting the job done at Carlisle over the 6 furlongs. So he saw it out really well. And I thought he was game and showed a good attitude.
Is he quite versatile in terms of tactics? Because we saw him lead, didn't we, at York, and he took a lead this day. So are you kind of happy to slot him wherever?
Yeah, I think with the younger horses, you're not quite set on instructions, really. And Dad's often saying to jockeys, just ride them as you find them. So it's just a case of getting them in a rhythm where they're comfortable. That's the main thing with horses, getting them in their rhythm, having them breathing and relaxed. And they'll obviously see the races out better having raced like that. So it's just often a case, ride them where you find them, see how the race plans out and go from there.
OK, good stuff. Those are the 5 horses declared then for the Kevin Ryan team on Wednesday. Let's move on to Thursday, and there are a few entered up, aren't there? The Sky Bet Lather is the first race on the card, but we're going to go to the Harry's $500,000 by Goffs, the 225, to talk about a couple of your horses here, Amy. And we've got Ricky Tikki Tavi at 16 to 1 and a big price horse, Do You Want It Right Now? So let's concentrate first on Ricky Tikki Tavi, shall we? And a son of Bungle in the Jungle, who comes into this having won his first race at Thirsk.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. He's a big horse. He's got loads of size and scope about him. And he was second at York first time out, so a bit of track form's always nice. He then went up to Ayr next time and got off the mark then last time out at Thirsk. And he's a horse that's always shown plenty at home. We think quite a lot of him. So nice to see him get his head in front. He's obviously a big horse that's going to be for further down the line as well. You know, he isn't just a 2-year-old. So, you know, he's a horse that we're looking forward to running in, you know, the prize winning offer in these big sales races. It's always worth taking a chance.
Yeah, it is, especially as he's got that course form already at York. And you said earlier on the call, it's always helpful, particularly these young horses. And he ran a mighty race on his debut, didn't he?
Yeah, he ran a cracker. It was, you know, not unexpected. Like I said, he'd been shown plenty at home. So we were really pleased with that. And nice to see him get his head in front last time.
Do we expect Do You Want It Right Now to be going to the race as well?
I'm not too sure about her. She's lightly raced. She didn't run that long ago up at Ayr. So I'm not quite sure about her just yet, whether she'll take a chance. But we don't often run them quite that quick. So she was a little bit disappointing last time. So we'll just have to see tomorrow what happens.
OK, your dad's got 2 entered in the York Clipper Handicap, Heritage Handicap at 3 o'clock on the Thursday. Always a fiendishly competitive race. And you've got 2 old favourites in there, Apiarist and Sisyphean. Let's concentrate on Apiarist as well. He's just that little bit shorter in the market than Sisyphean. Must go there with that previous York form having a decent chance. Yeah,
absolutely. 2 talented horses. Sisyphean, I don't think you'll see a better looking horse probably all week. Gorgeous horse. He's a huge, big horse. And you know, he's been running really well. He's ran well at York already, and he was just touched off a few starts ago there. So, you know, hopefully a track that he seems to run really well. He's got a lot of natural speed, but he also stays. So, you know, he'll be a horse that'll be probably ridden forward, and, you know, he'll see his race out well. Apiarist, again, he's been running well, really. He ran really well over in Ireland last time. He wants a really fast pace to aim at. You know, he's a horse that seems to be seen to best effect when they go off quick and he can finish his race off. So, you know, they're 2 very likeable horses and 2 horses that seem to run the track well as well.
Could you envisage a scenario where Sisyphean goes off in front, goes off nice and quick and sets it up for Apiarist?
Well, Sisyphean will be hard to peg back if he does. That's the thing, you know. He's a very talented horse with a high cruising speed. So, you know, if he can get off on the front end, he could be hard to peg back. But Apiarist, you know, he is seen to better effect with cutting the ground. So I'm not quite sure what the weather forecast is so far for the week, but he is a bit better with a bit of cutting the ground. So I think it'll just be a case of seeing what the ground's like, how it's riding. They always do a fantastic job at York with the ground. And, you know, we'll see where we head going forwards. OK, let's move on to Friday, because it could be a big day, big afternoon for the Kevin Ryan team. This is how the card looks, just coming up now with the Nunthorpe Stakes, of course, being the feature race.
And we've also got the Gimcrack and the Lonsdale Cup, the other group races on the card. You've got Rock on Thunder entered in the Gimcrack. Likely to go there, Amy?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all. A lovely horse, a horse that we've always thought an awful lot of. He obviously won really well first time out at Leicester, and it was a race that was well talked up beforehand, which I think is always what you want to see. Plenty of people thought plenty of their horses in behind him. This came as no surprise on this occasion because he's a lovely horse. He's going to have a big future heading forward, and again, he's got plenty of size and scope. So anything this year that he does will sort of be a bonus heading forward. He went to Ascot next time, where the ground was probably just a little bit too quick, where he finished to sort of midfield. That was in the Coventry, but really nice to see him obviously at Newbury last time in a listed race where he finished second behind the Wise Approach. Nice to see him sort of bounce back to form, and that was in the Rose Bowl listed race. So we were really pleased with that run last time, and I think the Gimcrack would be a natural progression. We've had quite a few horses in the past have had his kind of profile going into it. So yeah, looking forward to seeing him back on track.
Yeah, he's impressed me so far, and looks a bit of a physical specimen for the future, as you say. And the feature race on Friday, that is the Nunthorpe Group 1. And I have to say, I think you got a big chance, you and Kevin, with Washington Heights. And you must have been delighted to see him win the City Wolves last time out, because that puts him spot on for a race like this. Yeah,
the whole point of that race was confidence. We wanted him to win. He's one of those horses, he's an absolute legend of the yard. If you had a yard of him, the job would be easy. He wears his heart on his sleeve. You can set your clock by him. He's one of those horses, he gallops consistently well, he runs consistently well, and he's just such a likeable horse, and he's just always not quite getting there in the sort of Group 1 company. So we wanted to just drop him down in grade, get that confidence into him, and that's what happened. And he seemed to actually really enjoy himself this day. So he's a very, very likeable horse. We absolutely love him in the yard, and the owners do as well. He's a fantastic horse to have, and the form's clearly been boosted, hasn't it, as well, with JM Jungle going on at Goodwood and Rosie Affair actually winning a listed race at Pontefract yesterday.
Yeah, it couldn't have worked out much better. And I suppose that the attributes that I like most about Washington Heights, I would say, Amy, the fact that not only has he got that really strong early boot, but he's very tough in the finish as well. He won't say no easily.
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, he is just an absolute sweetheart. He just wears his heart on his sleeve, and what you see is what you get with him. There's no hidden agendas. There's nothing with him that you don't expect, because he's going to go out and run his race time and time again. So quick ground will suit him, and hopefully he can run a solid race. He's run well in the race before, so hopefully.
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance of at least getting a place. And you've also got Ain't Nobody in the race entered up as well. Is that the plan?
Yeah, he's a horse that's again a very big horse. He's done extremely well physically over the winter into this season. This will be actually his first run so far at 5 furlongs this season. He's been running over 6 furlongs, but he again is a horse with a lot of natural speed. So if he does go there, then I would look forward to really seeing him over the minimum, because he does have a lot of natural speed. So not sure definitely yet, but he's a nice horse. It's always shown plenty.
OK, thanks, Amy. We're going to move on to Saturday now, final day, and have a look at your entries for the final day, of course, of the York Ebor Festival, the Strensall, the opening contest. And, yeah, we're going to start by looking at We Never Stop in the York Skybet Constantly Handicap, the 410. An outsider is likely to go for the race?
Yeah, he's a very likeable sprinter. He's had a fantastic season already. He was in winning form on the all-weather earlier in the year, and yeah, he's a very talented horse. He's got a very high cruising speed, and he's got a really good attitude as well. So I'm sure the owners will be over him on the sleeve on the first day, and they'll be hoping that he can run well on the Saturday. And
in the listed race, the York Julia Graves Roses Stakes at 4:45, Kinology and Dickensian are both entered up.
Yeah, Kinology is a horse that won at Redcar, won well, was then third at Thirst last time. This will obviously be a step up in grade for him. Dickensian, absolutely love this horse. He's so fast. He won at Musselburgh on his debut. He then ran at Ascot a couple of times. He was second, obviously, at Ascot, at Royal Ascot, and then he was third in the Molecombe at Goodwood. So he's improving. He's a lovely horse. He's got a great attitude, and he takes it all in his stride. A lot of natural speed. So I think he goes there with a really solid chance.
I think he's got a massive chance in that race. Dropped in grade as well. No Lady Iman to worry about. She's going for a Group 1. So. Yeah, Dickensian must be one of your biggest chances of the week, I would say. And finally, Amy, Dark Moon Rising in the York Skybet Steve Birch finale handicap. The last race of the meeting.
Yeah, down to Mooney, isn't it, in the last? But no, he's again a lovely legend of the yard, an older handicapper. He's talented. He's obviously won at York, and he's run plenty of good races. He's just one of those horses that just kind of depends what mood he's in, really. So we'll be hoping that he's in a going mood on Saturday.
Great stuff, Amy. I wish you and your dad the very best of luck. Finally, best chance of the week would be?
I'm going to say Dickensian.
Yeah, I would go along with that as well. Good stuff, Amy. Thanks very much for coming on. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Watch live racing now on racingtv.com.